Here's an update. Here's an update on the Alex Murdaugh case. It's another article come from lawandcrime.com, and the title of the article is "There's no way that he'll be able to sleep peacefully. Judge in Alex Murdaugh case speaks publicly about the double murder trial for the first time." The article states, "Judge who oversees the Alex Murdaugh murder trial and sentenced the disgraceful lawyer to consecutive life prison sentence speaks publicly about the case before the cameras for the first time in a question and answer session during a panel at Clifton State University, his alma mater, on Tuesday. Judge Clifton Newman, who is a few months away from forced retirement under Palmetto state law, was interviewed by Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court Judge Brendan J. Shin, and asked to opine on various aspects of the trial, including the terse deliberation. "That just surprised me when it comes to the court cases. Really," Newman said. "You just never know. These are people. They are strangers to me, strangers to each of us. You could be sitting in, could be 12 of you on the jury. You're just listening and discussing it all." On March 2nd, 2023, after a trial taking up the better part of 6 weeks, Murdaugh peers found him guilty on all counts in the connection in the Clifton County Courthouse. The timestamp on that discussion was 6:41 p.m. Eastern Time. Ultimately, jurors spent just shy of 3 hours discussing his fate. "My experience is that when jurors have sat and listened to something for 6 weeks, over 800 exhibitions presented, when they go back to deliberate, they don't want to look at those 800 exhibits. They don't want to spend their time combing through everything they have laboriously sat there and listened to for that length of time," Newman explained to the judge asking the question. He mused that the 3 hours spent deliberating on the defendant's guilt or innocence was about normal under the circumstances. A lighter moment came when the questioner asked who would play the judge in a movie or a minister about the nationally famous trial. Newman said Morgan Freeman was too old. The judge's wife suggested Denzel Washington might be up to the task. She also asked whether it was difficult to sentence a man who had previously practiced the law in front of him. "Well, being from a small world community and being from a relatively small state, I have to handle the case whether I know the person who was accused or know the victims," Newman said. "Judges have to make individual determined as to whether they can be fair or impartial. But my test is not whether I know the person or knew other person. It has to be whether my knowledge of them will affect my ability to be fair or impartial." He was not personal friends, but since he was from a popular firm and a popular lawyer, all judges, every judge in the state either knew him or knew of him. Well, his reputation is going out the window, though. Newman went on to add that you also know the defendant by the end of a murder trial. Then there's also a markedly quick turnaround for sentencing, a hearing which came the next morning in South Carolina, sped up even further by the prosecution declining to offer additional arguments or victim impact statements for a harsher sentence, and the defense similarly opting out of offering a mitigation evidence. So here we are, and here's standing before me to be sentenced for having been convicted of a double murder, and basically had told me he had nothing to say either other than it wasn't me. Shin then brought up the length of speed that Newman gave to the defendant before sending him off to prison for the rest of his life, castigating him for the vicious crime and suggesting that convicted murder would be haunted by the slayings. Within your own soul, you have to deal with that, the judge said at the time. I know you had to see Paul and Maggie during the nighttime when you were attempting to go to sleep. Come and visit you, I'm sure. That speech, Newman said, was not planned or pre-scripted. It came from his preparation throughout the case. The person who kills another person, I'm told that person who is killed will haunt, will come back, and they will never be able to get over. They will come back, and the person who kills another person, I'm told the person who kills another person, I'm told the person who is killed will haunt, will come back, and will never be able to get over the moment in time they took that person's life. The low county judge said, whether that's a spirit belief, the low county judge said, whether that's a spiritual belief or just my view of the world, it is also the subject of a barbershop conversation one day when a customer was arguing with the barber, saying that if you kill a man, he will haunt you. He will come back and he will never be able to get that person out of your mind. Yeah, they're from barbershop talk. It definitely goes on the black barbershop a lot. When the offer, he then offered a sad take on the killer's personal experience with and relationship to his final victim. His relationship to his familiar victims. In my mind, no doubt, he loved his family, Newman said. I did not believe that he hated his wife, and certainly I did not believe that he did not love his son. But he committed an unforgivable, unimaginable crime, and there's no way that he'll be able to sleep peacefully given these facts. And there's no way he'll be able to sleep peacefully given those facts. Well, that's it for the judge, and that's it for the follow-up on this story. So I think this case is over and you can lay the rest now. But if new updates do come up, I'll be sure to do a video on it. So like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more.